Good evening, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Book Nerd 802, and in this video, I am going to be reviewing a book which I finished way before Christmas, even before I went to Gozo for a couple of days with my girlfriend. And this book is Best Wishes from the Full Moon Coffee Shop by Mai Mochizuki. This is the second book in this series, and it consists of about 210 pages. It was one of the 10 books, as a matter of fact, which I wished to finish before the end of 2025, and I rated this one a 4 out of 5 stars. There will, of course, be the link to my Goodreads review in the description down below. And honestly, I didn't think that I would be getting my hands on a paperback copy of this volume so soon, but I suppose I was lucky despite this one not matching in size with my first one. In fact, the first book I have in this series is much smaller than this one. It unfortunately does not match, but I could not find it anywhere in paperback on Waterstones online, and then I was lucky enough to find a copy of it in the Agenda bookstore in Valletta, so I suppose I bought it, read it in a relatively short amount of time. This is a very, very quick read and quite enjoyable overall as well. And the first volume focused more on star signs, whereas this one focused more on moon signs. And just to give you some context, basically, moon signs have to do with what is found within you rather than that which is expressed outwardly. Things which have to do with your thoughts and feelings rather than the way you interact with others, I suppose, your emotions perhaps. And even after completing this book, the second one in the series, I find it hard to take astrology seriously, but despite this fact, that astrology is still a bit of a joke to me, I found this read to be a wholesome and enjoyable one, and would recommend it to anyone, any kind of reader out there, especially during this time of year. Around this time of year is perfect because the Full Moon Coffee Shop was opening on nights when it was an especially beautiful moon, and it's a festive read, it's very cozy as well, and it is filled with good vibes and optimism. It basically delves into how all people have a past and how some people never really come to terms with that which is causing them turmoil and ruining their enjoyment of life, which is honestly quite a shame. You have to come to terms with that which is causing you issues psychologically, and whether these issues have to do with family or problems at work or perhaps even with getting married and starting a family, it's all about having the right perspective and rising to the occasion when the opportunity to feel better about such situations arise. And the Full Moon Coffee Shop offers such opportunities where people can fully think about what is wrong with their lives and reevaluate their perspectives without any judgmental, without any judging or prying eyes, by the way. And it doesn't even allow you to order anything of your own. It just gives you what you need, and it's perfect every single time. It allows you time to reflect on your life and what is wrong, and how to reassess your life in order to change your perspective when things seem to be going very wrong. And basically, based on when you were born, how best to live from said point forth is determined by a group of cats who can turn into humans, and in this one, there is more focus put upon the cats as well rather than just the main characters. And I am sure that any fairies watching right now, watching the video of course, are fuming since they are not able to transform in such a way. You might be able to put on costumes, but you will never be cats like the characters in these books. And I think that I would personally be creeped out if I saw a human-sized cat approach me and offer me tea or coffee. Despite the kind gesture, I would still be freaked out, even though I tend to keep a very open mind. I feel as though this is something which would give me nightmares, haunt my dreams, and not something which I would come to terms with that easily. And basically, as a busy guy in a relationship with a busy woman, speaking about myself here, I completely understood how intimidating getting proposed to might be when work is so central in your life, especially when you have to either quit your job or find a different location to work in just in order to get married and start a family. And marriage does tend to change a lot, and seeing the situation other people are in after making the same decisions which are offered to you tends to skew your perspective, generally in more of a negative way than a positive one. And despite all that, this was a tale of forgiveness, both of forgiving yourself, coming to terms with yourself, and forgiving others as well. People who might have, from your point of view, done things very wrong, but from the shadows might have had the right intentions all along, that kind of thing, as well as a tale of seeing the bigger picture and prioritizing that which is most important. There was also a very interesting theme of reincarnation going on, of adopting animals and of people coming back, animals coming back, all of this tying into the moon sign sequence. And it was very wholesome overall, this fact that we will get a second chance, um, all this karmic retribution, that the way we live our lives will affect what happens later and how we are treated by others, how we treat others, how it's a cycle which we can make very beautiful with some effort. And that was a lovely thing to read about, especially during this time of year, as I keep mentioning. And I agree that connections made with other human beings, which are meaningful, are much more relevant than money, for instance. Even though as an individual I tend to isolate myself quite a lot, I spend a lot of time at home on my own. I don't really like company or prioritize it that much, and I do have a very small circle of people which mean the world to me. If you're watching, you definitely know who you are. And in several ways, especially in this one, I should probably practice what I preach even more. So yeah, I mean, I also enjoy the illustrations on a bit of a side note and can't complain about the way in which this was translated, although all the astrological terminology did confuse me, and I think it would have probably read more lyrically, let's say lyrically for lack of a better word, or um, poetically perhaps in the original language. Um, but yeah, I mean, the astrological terminology did confuse me and ironically did not resonate with me, despite all the astrological nonsense going on. And must be because I'm an aquarium and not a vertebrate or whatever the signs are. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really find myself taking that much of an interest in these signs, whether they're star signs, moon signs, rising, um, or falling, whatever the other terms might be. Correct me if I'm wrong once again, but I think overall that is all I had to say with regard to Best Wishes from the Full Moon Coffee Shop by Mai Mochizuki. There was this very cute character, by the way, a young girl who is very wholesome, who can perceive what is going through the minds of others very well. She is a very perceptive young individual, and she understands reincarnation quite well too, I suppose, and understands previous lives or can read people very well. That is what I try to accomplish as well by reading a lot, trying to learn how to read others and trying to put myself in the shoes of so many other people through reading once again. It's one of the ways you can do that, no matter what star sign you may be. But yeah, that is all I had to say with regard to that book. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my content because why not? It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. And bye, guys.